guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be planning for the month of February. I have got my notebook ready, my coffee ready, and the pens I'll be using all set to plan for this month. So for this month's theme, I'm going to be using all the pens I have in the shade of pink and gray, as well as a few pens for black. Let's start with the quotation of the month. I went with this simple quotation from the Beatles, which I really like, and I think it is very appropriate for this month as well. I try my hand on the calligraphy using the two different shades of pink, and then I use the two different shades of gray to do the rest of the writing. The quotation turned out very well. I really like the color combination of gray and pink here. Now for the fun part, let's start with the title page. I decided to go for two different kinds of flowers in two different shades of pink that I'm using. Now this is a trick that I'll be sharing with you guys. So this is to draw these simple flowers, and you cannot go wrong with this. So first you just draw these little blobs everywhere. And also do a pencil sketch beforehand just to give you an idea as to where you'll be drawing. And this doesn't have to be perfect as you see here. So I'm just using the two different shades of pink that I'll be using throughout my spread here. And then I'm going to be using this Mildliner in gray as well to draw the leaves. I want to stick with gray and pink for this spread, so I'm not going to be using green for the leaves. And as you can see here, I'm drawing the blobs. They don't have to be perfect. It looks far from beautiful right now, but trust me, at the end it's going to look really pretty. Try to make my bullet journal spread so that they're very easy and practical, and basically anyone can follow them. I do not have amazing drawing skills, but I do have a lot of tricks and tips that I follow, and they make my bullet journal come out very well. So coming back to the drawing, after you have done all the blobs with your Tombow, you take a hard tip black pen and basically draw these boundaries all around the petal. They don't have to be perfect, and they don't have to cover the entire color that you have done beforehand. So now by using the black pen after you have used the Tombow, this way your design would not smudge, and it actually looks really perfect, and this is so much fun to do so. If you have never tried something like this, I totally recommend it. So I do this design on all the four corners, and then I will go in and fill in my other flowers, which I have done with the light pink color. And as you can see now, the shape is coming out a little bit better, and the flowers that I'm going with are very simple. I'm sure everyone and anyone can draw them. Now the more contrasting colors you'll be using in your drawing, the more vibrant your picture will look like overall. But make sure everything is cohesive. You just stick with 2 or 3 colors for your all spreads. After I'm done outlining all the flowers, I take the Tombow in dark pink and write February in the middle. And now as you can see, my calligraphy is really simple. Since my border is a little intricate, I like to go with very plain calligraphy so everything kind of balance each other. Now I take my owl eraser to clean up the final spread. And then after this, I take my Mildliner in the color gray and work on the calendar under the page. I use Sakura in 0.1 to write the dates of the month as well as the days of the week. I think the design is coming out really well now, but the vines and leaves are lacking in color, so I decide to add little blobs of pink. Then I take my Sakura in 0.1 and decide to draw the outline of the leaves. Now I'm going to be drawing the outline for basically everything except for the vines. And as you can see, this is very meditative and fun, and it does not have to be perfect. In fact, the imperfect boundary makes it look really cute. So after I did this, I did the boundary on the little blobs as well, and I think now I have a really cute design. This spread has turned out very well. Now after grabbing coffee, let's start with the next spread. Now this one is going to be my calendar for the month. So basically I'll have a bunch of squares on this whole page. So I decided with a slightly italicized calligraphy on the top just to balance the things out. I take my Staedtler Duo in the color gray and start drawing the back shadow. So for the back shadow, I'm going to be doing it only on the two sides of these boxes, as you can see, on the right hand side and on the bottom. You'll see at the end how drawing the back shadows pops everything out. After I'm done with all the boxes, I decide to work on my notes section of this spread. I take my Tombow in light pink and highlight the alternating rows of this column. So far it's looking really cute, but now I had to add the drop shadows on this column as well, so everything kind of looks similar. So after I'm done drawing all the basics for this spread, I decide to add the ongoing design. So I draw the blobs again on both of the sides and my vines, and then I take the two color pens that I've been using in both the pinks, but this time I'm going to be alternating the colors of the flowers. As you can see, this is fairly easy spread to make. You cannot mess these flowers up. Then I'm going to be drawing these leaves in the color gray again, and I'm going to be giving you a little bit of close-up so you can see I'm actually not making them perfect. So these are basically little blobs in roughly the shape of a leaf. So after I'm done with all the basic designs, I take my Sakura in 0.1 and draw all these boxes. Now this may look really boring to you guys, so I'm going to be speeding this up quite a bit. I actually like drawing all these boxes because now I can see the entire design coming together, and I really enjoy this process. So after I finish doing all the boxes, I start putting the detailing on the flowers. And as I told you before as well, they're very easy to do. You cannot mess them up, and they're actually very fun to draw. So this time I alternated the colors of the flowers again. So the big flower in the middle is light pink instead of the dark pink, and the side flowers are a little bit darker. Then I continue drawing the detailing on the other flowers on my spread as well. I did not have to think very hard to decide the color theme for this month, because I definitely knew that I was going to incorporate pink, and I really like pink with silver or pink with gray. In fact, I'm always on a lookout for outfits with silver and pink shades. Now my spread is almost done, and I'm actually using the black marker to draw the outlines of all the little flowers and the details. This spread is so much fun to make, and it's very meditative. So by this time I was in an autopilot mode. I was also finishing up listening to my cardiology lecture series. I like to do voiceover afterwards after I shoot my entire video and edit them, and I usually like to do the voiceover the first thing in the morning because I'm very active and enthusiastic. But unfortunately the only time I get is in the evening or in the middle of the night. The problem with the middle of the night is that I sound like a dead zombie when I do voiceovers. So today I'm actually doing them in the evening. And of course, this is the perfect time my toddler decided to test his vocal cords. So coming back to the spread, I decided to do the little blobs in light pink for the date numbers in my spread. So how I basically do is, I do one color in my spread and then I subsequently build it up by adding color after a color. And then at the end, for my final setup, I want to see which color is the one that I have not used a lot in the spread, and then I go ahead with that particular shade. So after I do the blobs, I write the dates in, and now this is the fun part where I'm going to be setting up this calendar for this month. All the stickers I'm going to be using in this spread are from the shop The Coffee Monsters Co. So the first sticker I'm going to be using is to mark the surgery date for my pup, which is the 10th of February. And after I do this, my mom's birthday is actually on Valentine's, so I'm going to be marking that. Next, I'm going to be marking my vaccinations. Then I mark the Lunar New Year, which is on the 1st of the month, and of course I have to mark the Valentine's Day. For this, what I did is I had to split the sticker into two, and I used the Valentine font for the 14th of the month, whereas I used the little emoji in my notes side of the page. Now for the next spread, we are going to be making the habit tracker on the left hand side and the mood tracker on the right. So now I'm going to be keeping these spreads pretty straightforward. So for the habit tracker, I decided to draw the drop shadows before using the gray pen, and also I'm going to be using the same gray pen to mark the days of the week. Then I take the Tombow in light pink shade to mark the titles of the habit tracker. I'll be tracking 9 habits this month as well. Then I take the Sakura in 0.1mm and I draw the outline of all these 9 boxes. And make sure that you draw them all around, because first when I used the gray pen, I was just doing the drop shadow, and that is why they are on only the 2 sides of the boxes. So after I'm almost done doing that, I use the same pen to write the days of the week for all 9 of them. Now for the month numbers, you can either write the numbers for each habit, draw circles, but of course I'm going to be going with a shortcut method here, and I'll show you what I mean. So after I'm done writing all the habits I'll be tracking for this month, I take my Tombow and draw little blobs where the dates of the month would go. So I have 28 blobs in each box, and my idea is to basically tick mark each box when I'm done with that habit. You can draw circles around it as well, or you can write dates, whatever you like. But I like to keep things easy and simple, so I'm just going with a simple design. Now after I'm done with this page, I'm going to start working on the mood tracker on the right hand side, and you will see what I mean by balancing the pages here. Since my left hand side page, the habit tracker, is all geometric, it's got 9 squares, I'm going to balance it with the design element on the right hand side, so it is going to be basically all design. So if I decide to draw flowers on the left hand side as well, it'll make it look very cluttered and just too much going on. So for my mood tracker, I decided to draw inspiration from the enchanted rose from the movie Beauty and the Beast. So I have this rose on the page, and basically the petals falling down are going to be my mood tracker. So I've numbered all the petals to make sure I have 28 of them, and I'm going to draw a legend on the right hand side to decide as to which color of petal pertains to what. So for this, I decided to kind of draw a different flower, so it's kind of sort of looks like a rose. And then I shade in different folds just to give it a little bit of a 3D aspect. And also to give this page a more enchanting effect, I added some sparkles in gray all around the rows as well. To finish off this spread, I added 2 washi tapes. One is from the Coffee Monsters Co. and the thin washi tape is from Amazon. As I told in my earlier videos, I use bullet journal for 2 purposes. One is for my social media and the other is for my health. So for this spread, I'm going to be focusing on my social media. I'm going to be tracking my YouTube, TikTok and Instagram posts. So for this, I basically doodle in all the marks I'm going to be ticking off for YouTube. The first one being research, then shooting, then editing, and then basically uploading the video. I use only one shade of gray and one shade of pink to draw these icons. I just use them twice to make it a little bit darker. Then I draw the outline using my Energel Clena in 0.5. After I've done this to all the icons, I draw the flowers on the top left and the bottom right hand side. And again, I use this Energel Clena pen to draw the details of my flowers. For the title, I do a simple calligraphy, but then I use the Clena Energel to do a mismatched doodle on top. I think it turned out really well. Now these spreads might not be applicable to you guys, but you can use the same spread to use your budget tracking or your schoolwork tracking, and if you're a teacher, you can plan your lectures this way. And after I did this, I decorated the rest of the page with the flowers, and then I'm going to be decorating this page so that it also has back shadow. Then I take my Sakura pen in black and draw the outline of all these columns. So basically for this page, if you're a macro organizer, you can go ahead and just have 2 columns. One for the date when you're going to be doing the YouTube video and an upload date. But if you're a micro organizer and you like more categories than I have indicated here, feel free to go and do so. But I like it simple and I like these 4 categories only, so I'm going to be sticking with these. I don't think I'm going to be changing it anytime soon. So for the right hand side of the page, I'm going to be keeping a track of my Instagram post and TikTok videos. And since these are not huge productions, I'm not going to give a whole page to them. And neither I'm going to give them a lot of columns. So this is where I'm doing macro planning with these 2. I'm going to be separating the color theme of these 2 pages a little bit. So for the titles on the right hand side, I'm going to be using lighter shades, as well as I'm not going to be using any icons for the title. You'd later see. I'm also using the gray pen to do the outline. Since I'm not going to be using a lot of space on the right hand side, I decide to add in a notes page for basically notes on my social media. And after I do the outlining of the entire page, I finish decorating it with just few flowers here and there so everything looks a little cohesive. And I think my right hand side and the left hand side page together, they make such a cute spread. I finish up doing the last touches, and after that I add these lines on my notes pages. Now I'm setting up for the first week of this month. And as I told you guys earlier, I'm going to be using my bullet journal for 2 things. One is for my social media, which I covered in the previous spreads, and now I am going to be using my weekly spreads to track my health. I took a bit of a break in January because of some health issues, but I'm going to be resuming back my workouts. I reduced quite a bit of weight last year, about 85 pounds. And to do so, I kept track of my exercises as well as my nutrition. And by far, this is my tried and tested spread. This is very practical for me, so I don't see it changing anytime soon. Let me explain you my system here. So I have a little flag on the top left hand side where I will put in the week of the month. And then I have these little 7 columns. And I am going to track weekly habits in them. So basically the things that I'll be tracking would be the total calories, proteins, step, as well as the exercises done for the week. And on the bottom, I'm going to be writing any details pertaining to my exercise or nutrition, such as meal preparation. So if you want to see my filled spreads, let me know and I'll be posting them on the Instagram. So as you can see, for this spread, I decided to keep it very basic, and I'm not going to be using any doodles in the spread because I like it neat and clean, and I think otherwise it would look too cluttered. So after I do this, I'm actually going to be showing you for the rest of the weeks as well, because I went ahead and planned for the rest of the weeks. I used the same color, but I varied the color combination and the theme for the rest of the weeks as well. And this way I am all set for the month of February. Let me know how you like my other weeks as well for this month and which one is your favorite. So to track the exercises, I'm drawing these little blobs with a circle around it because exercise is going to be all or none thing for me. And I'm going to be using the columns underneath to write all the details. Now this is my week 2 with the similar colors. This is my week 3 with the gradients, and of course my week 4. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. Please support my channel and subscribe to my videos so that I can continue making content like this. Thank you so much. Enjoy the flip through. Bye bye.